This is the question asked in today's SkillTrack daily challenge. So we are given an integer n as input and we have to form a pattern like this. So here we are given 5 as input and our output pattern contains 5 lines, and in every line we are printing the integers from 1 to 5. So in every line totally there are 5 integers and totally there are 5 lines. Now in every line of our output we must group the integers. So in the first line we must group the integers 5 by 5, and in the next line we must group the integers 4 by 4, and in the next line we must group the integers 3 by 3. So like this we should go up to 1. So in the first line totally there are only 5 integers. So all the 5 integers are enclosed in a single set of parentheses. And in the second line we must group the integers 4 by 4. So totally there are 5 integers. The first 4 integers are grouped separately. So the first 4 integers are separately enclosed in a set of parentheses, and now we have remaining only 5. This group can hold up to 4 integers, but we have only one integer left. So the integer 5 is alone grouped separately in a single set of parentheses. And now in the third line we must group the integers 3 by 3. So totally there are 5 integers. The first 3 integers are grouped in a separate pattern, and the next group can contain 3 integers, but we are left only with 2 integers. So the 4 and 5 are grouped in a separate set of parentheses. And now in the fourth line of our output we must group the integers 2 by 2. So totally there are 5 integers. So the 1 and 2 are in a separate group, and 3 and 4 are in a separate group, and 5 doesn't has any pair, so 5 is alone in a separate group. And in the last line of input we must group the integers 1 by 1. So in every group there can be only one integer. So all the 5 integers must be enclosed in a separate set of parentheses. So this is how we get our output pattern. Now let us see how to write a C program for this. So first I am creating the integer n, and in the next line I am accepting the integer n as input, and then I am creating a for loop that iterates from 0 to n, and in every iteration of this I loop I am creating a new integer named group, and I am assigning the value of n minus I to it. So in every line of our output we must group the integers. So in the first line we must group the integers 5 by 5, and in the next line we must group the integers 4 by 4. So like this we must reduce it one by one. So the value of n will be 5 and initial value of I will be equal to 0. So 5 minus 0 will be equal to 5. So in the first iteration of this I loop, the number of groups that we want to group is 5, and here the value will also be equal to 5. And in the next iteration the I value increments by 1, so the number of group value also decreases by 1. And in every iteration of this I loop we are also printing a new line. So our output now contains n lines, and in every line of our output we must print the integers from 1 to n. So to do that I am creating another for loop that iterates from 0 to n. If the integer group divides j, then we will be printing a open parenthesis, and if group divides j plus 1 or the value of j is equal to n minus 1, then we will be printing the closing parenthesis, and in between these two parentheses we will print the value of j plus 1. Here we are printing the value of j plus 1 because we are iterating from 0 to n. So the value of j will be only from 0 to n minus 1, but we have to print the integers from 1 to n. So in every iteration we will be printing j plus 1. And here if this condition is not satisfied, then we will be printing a space. So let us see what we are exactly doing here. So let us consider this line of our output. Whenever we want to print the open parenthesis, we used the value of j, and whenever we wanted to print the closing parenthesis, we used the value of j plus 1. So initially the j loop starts from 0 and iterates only till n minus 1, and in every line we print only the value of j plus 1. That is why we get our output 1 to 5, but the actual value of j is from 0 to 4. So in this line we have to group the integers 2 by 2. So initially the value of j will be starting from 0. So if 0 mod 2 is equal to 0, then we will be printing open parenthesis. So the first two open parentheses will be printed, and the next printf will print j plus 1. So we will be printing the value 1, and then we will also print 2. And now for closing parenthesis we used the value of j plus 1. So when we print 2, the value of j will be equal to 1, and j plus 1 is a divisible of 2. So we will be printing a closing parenthesis. So that is what we are doing in our program. So if j mod group is equal to 0, then we print closing parenthesis, and if j plus 1 mod group is equal to 0, then we print closing parenthesis. Now the value of j will be 0, 1 and 2 here. The j value will be equal to 2. Now 2 when divided by 2 again leaves the remainder 0. So again we print a open parenthesis here, and then after printing two integers, the value of j plus 1 will be equal to 4 here, and after printing 4, then again we use a closing parenthesis. So when we do like this, all the integers will be grouped, but this works only when all the groups are filled with its complete capacity. So here in this line, every integers must be grouped 2 by 2, but in this last group there is only one integer. So in those cases this technique won't work. So we are also including another condition. If j plus 1 mod group equal to 0 or j is equal to n minus 1, we will be printing the closing parenthesis. So if our loop has reached the end, we will print parenthesis. And let us see why we are printing this space in else part. So we are printing open parenthesis and then printing the integers separated by space. But when we print a closing parenthesis, there is no space between the integers. So here between the 5 and closing parenthesis there is no space. So after printing an integer, if we are going to print a closing parenthesis, then we are not going to use space, or else we will be using a space. So that is what we are doing here. We will be printing the integer without any space, and then if we are going to print a closing parenthesis, then again we will print the closing parenthesis without any space, or else we will print a space. So when we do like this, we get our desired output pattern. Now let us check our program with sample test cases. So now I have given the sample input 1, so I have given the integer 5, and we get the correct pattern as output. And now if we give our sample input 2, that is if we give the integer 8 as input, again we get the correct pattern as our output. So this is the logic behind today's daily challenge. Thank you for watching.